So I'm back with my second video. Today I'm filming at night because last time I realized daytime outside here is very, very busy and there's a lot of background noise. So I'd said that I've been undergoing a 2-year journey of self-discovery since I left corporate or formal employment. I'd said that I'll share a few snippets of what the 2 years have been, alongside maybe a couple of daily things or discoveries. So today I feel inspired to tell you guys what I've learned about myself over the last 2 years. First of all, in 2023, when I left the job, it was not like a well-planned decision. The job was taking a toll on me and I on it. It was a mutual, I don't know what to call it, but we were not good for each other at that point. So at the point when I left, I had two options: to leave or be pushed out. So in a split second, the decision fell on me, and I smile and laugh when I say a few more seconds and it would have been them. And it wasn't a most comfortable time. There were so many uncertainties around it, but it needed to be done, and there was no other option at that point in time. Looking back, I'm so glad it happened. My first reason for this is everything that I've heard about the company that I was working for back then just confirms that I really could have not changed much, even though I thought that I could have changed much should I have had more resilience. So that's a little bit of a universe nudge that I made the right decision. A lot of confirmations by other people living that held similar values, and many other things that are not the point of this video. So once you leave a job that you're very used to, salary you're used to, and other perks that I was used to, the first instinct is to start thinking about the next move, the next job. I tried to think about the next move, the next job, and I was all over the place, all over the map. I didn't know if I wanted to be self-employed, if I wanted a bit of self-employment, and then I go back to employment. And so this was around June. I started applying for jobs. But the fatigue I used to feel when I was doing it, I just decided to stop and just live in the uncertainty. So one of the things that I've learned is that I actually do okay with uncertainty. And 2 years down the line, I'm glad some of those jobs didn't work out. I then was sort of forced by circumstances, but also out of interest, to consult and teach. And the success rate of that has actually surprised me. I've not been consistent, and I also did not have a very clear strategy. But the times when inspiration has hit or the need has hit, and I've gone out to look for opportunities, or I've been in the right frame of mind, opportunities have found me, and I've delivered, and they've delivered the much needed finances and something to do. So I've learned about myself that in uncertainty, I can still be ripe for opportunities, and opportunities can find me without me deliberately looking. Now, I also learned that you can jump out of desperation, and the universe will show you signs that you're doing things out of desperation. So somewhere towards the end of 2023, I was sent a link to a job by a friend, and I applied for it, and I was selected, and it was quite exciting. It was a bit of a step back, but it had a lot of promise in terms of what it could give. I searched myself, and I could feel that I've not healed or rested enough from my previous experience. But I was like, I think it's meant to be. Well, 3 months in, or let's say month 1, I could tell that I'd made a bit of a mistake, but I was willing to push on because I didn't know what I didn't know. Maybe there's more to see. 3 months in, it was very clear that it was a bit of an abrupt choice for me at that time. The job was not a good fit, and that what I was doing was out of desperation. I could not really see a clear path for my career or myself with that job, and so I left. And once I left, I decided to stay left until a few things had aligned for me. And so that was December. So a year plus now, again, nobody has died and things are working out. I've also learned a lot about myself. The thing is, I used to know myself at some point, like know myself, what makes me tick, what excites me, what doesn't excite me. But when I found myself in an environment like the corporate environment where there's a lot of feedback coming, a lot of so many circumstances that have people giving you feedback of what they think about you, you start to doubt, were you really what you thought? Are this really your values? A lot of compromise that happens. And now that I'm answerable to me, I'm able to identify some of those things that died along the way. I'm also able to identify things I actually did not know that I value. Top of which is I value independence. I value working alone. I value doing what I want when I want. I'm more motivated that way. If you just give me the task and let me be, I will get it done. If it needs pushing, I start feeling a certain type of way and I might start looking like I'm an under-deliverer, unmotivated. So without so much structure that formal employment was providing, I was apparently able to deliver on my own personal goals. I was able to deliver on my job goals, my consulting gigs, without too much push. And so right now, going forward, I'm definitely going to look more into opportunities that give more freedom, give more independence of thought so that I don't lose myself, my values, and what I'm good at in that process. If that makes sense. I also learned that I'd not linked any personal goals to the job that I was doing. When I was making the money, which was not bad money, I did not have any personal goals or a personal vision tied to it. The personal goals were here, the job was here, and I was mostly in the job. So there are a couple of trips I could have really taken with that job, but I didn't. If you ask me why, I have no reason. Since I've been out, I've somehow found the money to travel, the time to travel, and realize I actually enjoy traveling so much. And I can't tell you why I did not see the money I was making at that time as an opportunity to travel and maybe balance my life a little bit. Back then, if you asked me what my ultimate dream is, I would have told you my ultimate dream is to relocate out of Kenya. I had a few countries in mind, top of which was Germany, for those who know me. But I did nothing about it. Like, I could also not see the funds that I was making there as a gateway to a personal goal of relocating. So I knew how much it would cost. I knew the cost of this, cost of that. But did I ever save towards it? Did I ever put a single coin? And I pride myself an intelligent, organized person. How I got lost in that and did not do this, I really cannot tell you. I think I just got trapped in the rat race and ended up losing myself and just being part of the motions of that life. So in those 2 years I've been out, I definitely know this. Every opportunity that comes needs to align with a personal goal of mine. That personal goal needs to motivate me to do this. I also realized that money in itself is not really a huge motivator for most people, and definitely not me. So because it offers money is not a good enough reason for you to do it, for me to do it. Let me speak, I'm speaking about myself. So what would I advise right now? I'm going to tell you a couple of things that have worked out for me and some that have not worked out for me during this time, but zero regrets, maybe in subsequent videos. But what I would say is, if you look at your current job, you look at your current life, and you have zero personal goals that you're working towards, you have zero personal things that you're doing for yourself. You just wake up, you go to work, you succeed or you don't, you get feedback, you get praise, you get criticism, you come back, and you sometimes live your life. You need to call yourself for a meeting, because that realization has told me that I was heading towards being one of those people who reached retirement and wondered, where did time go? What did I do with it? Yes, I reached high echelons of society, capitalistic society, but then what? What was I doing? What made me tick? So if you can have the opportunity to think clearly right now and determine what your whys are and make that job work for you, then good. If not, maybe you need to take a breather. And no, it doesn't need major planning. If you've not been planning and living for yourself during this time, this is not going to be the wake up call that will make you have this grand plan for your break. Maybe you just need to free fall into it and find yourself. Let me mention other things that I have found. I realized how I used to spend my free time and my social time was not exactly what I wanted to do. I will not spoof or mention the specifics, but the friends I kept at that time, the activities that I did at that time were clearly not what I wanted to do. I have also become more aware of my health. I was not aware of my health at all. I never used to think about how my body is operating, why things are the way they are, why is my womb with the fibroids issue I mentioned in the previous video, why is it running riot on me? If I have a breakout on my face, I wouldn't really wonder why. It's normal. If you have a headache, you take some meds. I was so unaware. I was very blasé in how I was doing things. Like, I just cannot believe, because if you ask me at that time, I felt very self-aware. So right now, I'm a very different version of me. I think anybody who meets me from that time can see a lot of differences. I feel a lot of differences and I live in my body. So I think going forward, I'm weighing this in how I'm sharing it, because I'm also doing it for me and doing it for others. But going forward, I shall share one or two aspects of what I've said, what has changed, I'm doing it differently now, and a few abracadabras that have happened for me. And also I'll mention how it is that I've made it through financially through this period, because that's a key one. How I've made it financially. It will sound a bit unconventional, and I will say that right now I'm still on that journey, but I'm the most calm I've ever been as far as finances are concerned. I have managed debt, I've managed a lot of money, I've spent more money than I have ever spent on myself, and I'm the happiest I've ever been. And I'm looking forward to the next chapter, balancing whatever is coming. If I do get myself back into the capitalistic system in a big way, balancing that and my goals and keeping this calm and keeping this joy and things just working out as they are supposed to work out. And yeah, I look forward to having you along for the journey. You know, there are many questions that I'm also asking myself about what I've just told you, like what could I elaborate, and I will. But my challenge to anybody right now that is thinking of quitting their job or make a big change in their life from whatever it is that they're doing, you can feel the push like I felt. So either do it on your own terms or let the thing push you out. But I can guarantee you that once you're out or in, whichever way you look at it, things will work out. And I hope a few aspects of what I'll be sharing with you are going to encourage you to make that bold move and live unapologetically as you. Have a lovely evening, and may be very kind to you. I think it will be a good one, and there'll be a lot of good things to celebrate across board. Thank you. More out.